You ready?
Yeah.
Then, Captain, first of all, you've learned the identity of the victim that was found out there. Tell us what you know about the victim.
Well, her name is Kayla Williams, and she was first reported missing first part of April, and the case was assigned to major crimes right after she was reported missing. Jen DeRue put out a media flyer shortly thereafter indicating some information about her lifestyle. Apparently, according to her family, she had been recently using drugs, and they were kind of concerned for her safety just because of her lifestyle.
And Captain, now the medical examiner has told you who this is, what do your detectives now do trying to reconstruct the period when she was not dead?
Well, obviously it's switched into a homicide investigation now after her remains were identified, and so it's been assigned to a lead detective and then support detectives, and basically their job is going to be just to follow up on every lead that they did receive after she was first reported missing. So there were leads that they attempted to follow up. They'll recontact people and start with the investigation from that aspect.
Do you have any reason to believe this is a random attack, like what we saw in the river?
I can't say for sure, but all indications are that it's not a random attack, no. But again, this is very preliminary. We just found her remains on Sunday, and we're looking at just several days now into the investigation. So,
Captain, her remains were found along an unimproved trail, but the difference between her and Mrs. McGill is that your victim, as best you can tell from court records as well as her family, was kind of living a high-risk lifestyle where she might encounter somebody, a criminal element.
That's the indication, correct. And again, when that flyer first went out, first part of April, there was indication of her drug use. And so because of that, there is a higher risk element because of that activity. So that is true.
Was she considered like a street kid? Was she a transient?
I wouldn't go so far as to say street kid or transient. I really can't say at this point. She was in contact with family on at least a semi-regular basis, but because of her lifestyle, or at least a road she was going down, would have put her at greater risk.
And that's very close to the last question I was going to ask, is that when we researched her name through juvenile, she had a period with juvenile where she was just 16, smoking meth 4 days running, boosting beer out of grocery stores. It would not entirely surprise you if this young lady was not able to steer clear of her addictions, that she would find herself in this situation, particularly if she had to raise funds for her drug habit. That could again expose her to this element that might make her dead.
It could, and I'm not familiar with her record or her past or what her arrest record was like, but somebody who does live that lifestyle, does participate in those kinds of activities, do put themselves at greater risk. And the element that she's going to be in contact with are going to be that element that's going to put her at risk. And that's just one of those facts of life of that lifestyle.
It was mentioned in the original flyer that I think the boyfriend had reported her missing. Has the boyfriend been questioned? Is he cooperating?
There's a number of people that have been questioned that will be re-questioned or re-contacted, but outside of the boyfriend or any other family members, I couldn't tell you at this point.
Well, Captain, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.
Thanks a lot.
You bet.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you.
Jeff, nice to see you again.
Thank you. Let me grab that off of you.
Oh, you probably want your equipment.